Welcome to datascience.show, the podcast where data science meets executive leadership. We talk with top AI and analytics thought leaders about turning data into real business impact. If you're a C-level leader or data expert shaping the future, you're in the right place.
Let me start with a quick story. A few quarters ago, a company I advise had an automated escalation pipeline. An AI flagged potentially harmful content and routed for human review. The rules seemed simple. If the model confidence was below a threshold, a human reviewer would decide. Except the reviewer SLA was never formally set. Reviewers were overloaded. Responses slid from hours to days. One afternoon, a piece of content slipped through, reached customers, triggered a regulatory complaint and a wave of refunds. The board wanted answers, the compliance team wanted controls, and product said fixing this would slow down every release. That mess should look familiar.
Why am I telling you this? Because human-in-the-loop oversight is too often treated as an informal safety valve, an on-call reviewer or an ad hoc ender arrangement, rather than a funded, instrumented service. If you care about measurable risk reduction, customer trust, and regulatory readiness, HITL belongs at the executive table. From models to measurable value, you need to define service levels, budget, and accountability before a mistake forces you to. Let's frame this as a service design problem. First, categorize the oversight use cases into 4 service tiers so you can prioritize investment and set realistic SLAs. Tier 1, safety-critical flows. Think life safety decisions, fraud prevention where customer harm is immediate, or compliance gating for regulated products. These require near real-time review and sub-hour SLAs. Tier 2, compliance-required reviews, where regulators demand audit trails and deterministic oversight. These need strict accuracy, auditable workflows, and same-day to 24-hour SLAs depending on volume. Tier 3, quality control reviews, high impact but not life-threatening. Sample-based review and spot checks work here, SLAs measured in days. Tier 4, discretionary or signal-gathering reviews, used for training models and process improvement. These can be low-touch, batched, and asynchronous. Each tier implies different latency, throughput, and staffing choices. So let's talk staffing and cost models, decision-friendly options you can pitch to finance. Option A, internal teams. You hire, you train, you own quality and retention. Pros are control and alignment. Cons are fixed cost and scaling friction. Option B, blended pools. Your core in-house team plus vetted vendor capacity for spikes. That buys elasticity while preserving control. Option C, managed review vendors. Cheap to stand up, but introduce variability in confidentiality and quality. Option D, human augmentation. Use AI triage so humans only see edge cases. Always run a TCO comparison that includes onboarding, training, attrition, security controls, and audit capabilities, not just per-hour reviewer rates.
Now, quality, fatigue, and error budgets. This is where many programs fail. Start by defining SLIs, reviewer accuracy against a verified gold set, SLA attainment, percent of reviews completed within target, coverage, percent of model-flagged items reviewed, and reviewer throughput per shift. Then set an error budget per flow, the fraction of escalations or missed items you're willing to accept before you intervene. If the budget is breached, predefined actions kick in. Pause the pipeline, increase human review, retrain the model, or route to a senior reviewer. Don't forget fatigue controls. Rotate reviewers across tasks, limit consecutive review hours on high-stress content, and build sampling procedures so no one is asked to review every borderline item. A critical executive lever is how you fund training and career paths. Treat reviewers as skilled contributors, not temporary labor. Invest in a certification program tied to role levels, junior reviewer, senior reviewer, escalation analyst, and provide promotion signals and pay bands. Training should include calibration sessions with labeled examples, decision manuals, and periodic recertification. This reduces error rates,
lowers turnover, and protects quality long-term. Remember, reviewer knowledge is an asset. Protect and nurture it. Procurement needs a playbook. Contracts with vendors must include mandatory clauses for background checks, confidentiality and data handling obligations, audit rights, SLA penalties tied to quality and timeliness, and clear liability allocation. Require vendor scorecards and quarterly performance reviews. Build renewal decisions into those scorecards. Insist on the right to sample data and run independent audits. If you outsource reviewer capacity, you still own the compliance and reputational risk. Don't transfer it without contractual teeth. Operationalizing HITL means pushing a handful of board-ready metrics to your dashboards. I recommend review coverage percentage, SLA attainment rate, reviewer accuracy with confidence intervals, mean time to resolution for escalations, churn rate among reviewers, and error budget burn rate. Link these metrics to owners and budgets. Who signs the funding request? Put this on the lines of the CDO or head of product with C-suite sponsorship. Compliant and legal should be co-owners when regulatory risk is high. Make these metrics part of quarterly risk reviews.
Still with me? Good. Here's a compact 30-90-day checklist and pilot design you can use to get traction fast. Day 0 to 30. Inventory your high-impact HIITL flows. Map the decisions, expected harm, volumes, current review process, and owners. Day 30 to 60. Pick one high-risk, high-value flow and run a 30-day pilot. Define SLIs, sample-based review, vendor or in-house staffing plan, and a dashboard. Day 60 to 90. Evaluate pilot results against ROI and risk reduction. If the error budget improves and SLA attainment is achievable, secure a line item in the next operating budget and assign a permanent owner. Always include legal and procurement in the pilot gating criteria.
3 quick executive takeaways before we close. 1. Treat HITL as a funded service with SLIs, owners, and a budget line, not as an informal labor gap. 2. Design tiered service levels so you can prioritize scarce human capacity toward highest risk decisions. 3. Require procurement and contract clauses that preserve auditability and quality when you use vendors. Do those 3 things and you reduce regulatory, reputational, and operational risk without grinding product velocity to a halt. If you want a ready-to-use playbook, we put together a practical human-in-the-loop playbook with templates for SLAs, error budget examples, procurement clauses, and a 30-90-day pilot checklist. Download it at datascience.show/HITL. Use it to run a pilot that proves value rather than a firefight that only appears after a failure. Final thought. Building reliable human oversight is not charity work. It's governance, it's engineering, and it's a leadership responsibility. Fund it, measure it, and own it. That's the difference between models and value.
Thanks for listening to datascience.show. If you found value in this episode, subscribe, share it with your network, and join us next time as we explore how data science drives smarter decisions and better business outcomes.